The problem for this Prime Minister is that the Australian people have figured him out. This government will say whatever it takes and promise whatever they think will get them a second decade in office. But the facts do not lie, and we have a decade of facts to look at. Take the cost of living. Australians know that the cost of everything is going up: food, petrol, rent, childcare, doctors' bills, and they know that their pay has fallen behind. So let's be really clear about this. You can't put the worst ever decade of wages growth down to a long run of bad luck. And it's not due to COVID. It's not an accident at all. This government wants to keep your wages low. They've said it themselves. Low wages growth is a deliberate design feature of their economic architecture. Deliberate design, not bad luck, bad policy. And this is a central difference between this government and Labor on jobs and on cost of living. I believe in a fair wage, high productivity economy, an Australia where working hard means you can pay the bills, support your family, save for the future and achieve your aspirations. But this Prime Minister and this Treasurer see the last 9 years of record low wages growth as a great success story. And that's why they cannot and will not ever be able to do anything meaningful or lasting to help with the cost of living. Australians know the difference between structural reforms that change people's lives for the better and cynical one-off payments designed for an election. This government might as well have stapled cash to your ballot paper. We know the pressure Australians are under, which is why these payments will be delivered regardless of the election outcome. But the difference is this: if you vote Labor in May, our work on cost of living won't stop once the votes are counted, because we know that the costs that you're dealing with aren't one-offs. Your kids don't go to childcare for 1 week, not even just for the election campaign. You don't use electricity for just a few days. The relentless pressure of flat wages and rising prices won't stop because of a short-term pre-election promise. The truth is, if you want real, permanent, meaningful help with the cost of living, you need a plan to get wages growing again. And you need a Labor government to do it. A Labor government that is upfront with our plans, not a Liberal national government that has driven down wages and has plans for cuts once they get through an election. Because make no mistake, if the Liberals get a second decade in office, more cuts to services you count on are coming. My fellow Australians, it was clear enough on Tuesday night that the Liberal and National parties think that this budget will be enough to get them through the next election. The Treasurer as much as said that in his budget luncheon speech just yesterday. The only jobs they are concerned about are their own. They're asking you to trust them, that somehow they'll be better in their fourth term. After all the waste and rorts and scandals, can you just imagine how arrogant and dismissive they will be if they enter a second long decade in office? But this election isn't about their political future. It's about our country's future. And it's a choice only you can make. We live in the greatest country on earth. And ask yourself, though, is this really as good as it gets?